We are backstage right now at Charlotte Tilbury's campaign for the holidays.
Celine Dion. Celine Dion is not just a voice. People say that about her all the time, that voice. But if you listen carefully, what makes her powerful is not only how high or how long she can sing a note, it's how honestly she feels.
Extremely honored.
Your songs lift people up. When they put a little bit of makeup on, it's just they can change their frequency. You change their frequency. That's why we're both obsessed with what we do. That star confidence that she imbues, she gives the woman hope that if she can do it, I can do it. And that's why I think she's an inspiration to the world.
She is an artist built out of emotion, discipline, loyalty, and love. She is also a woman who learned very early that music is not only something you perform. Music, for her, is something you live inside.
She knows what it takes, but she's very aware that beauty is inside out. But sometimes we want a little something more magical.
It was everything I dreamed of, everything I thought.
Let's talk about her the way people almost never do. Not just her biography, not just she sold 200+ million albums, not just my heart will go on, but her inner world, her personality, her way of loving, the way she enters the studio, the way she protects people, and the way she bleeds feeling into a microphone. Her character, soft heart, steel will. Celine grew up the youngest of 14 children in Charlemagne, Quebec, in a small, very ordinary house full of noise and music and cooking and siblings everywhere. Being the youngest in a big family does something to a person's personality. It teaches you two things at the same time. You are loved, but you are not the center of the universe. This shaped her forever. From the beginning, she was not the diva walking into a room saying, "Look at me." She was the girl saying, "Are you okay? Do you need anything? Did you eat?" The people who have worked with her for decades talk about this. The care, the almost maternal instinct, the loyalty. She remembers names. She remembers who in the crew had a sick mother. She asks you about your headache the next day.
I just love her and what an honor that she called me for me to be here today.
She is extremely professional, yes, but her professionalism comes from love, not ego. At the same time, under that warmth, there is something harder, discipline. When she decides to do something, she commits. She does not half love anything. She does not half sing anything. She does not half live anything. If she is in, she is all in. That is why people who collaborate with her often say the same sentence in different words. She is kind, but do not underestimate her. She is a force. That contrast is her core, very tender, very unstoppable. This is important to understand her music, because her voice is not just beautiful, her voice is stubborn. It refuses to give up on feeling, how she feels love, loss, and responsibility. Celine does not experience love like something casual. For her, love is an anchor, a promise, a duty. When she fell in love with René Angelil, who started as her manager, later became her husband, she didn't treat it like romance in the celebrity magazine way. She treated it like destiny. She chose him and stayed with him not only as a partner, but as someone she would fight for, build with, and defend. When he became ill, she didn't step away and let someone else handle it. She restructured her world around him. She has said many times that family is not her break from work. Family is the reason for the work. Her deepest emotion is protective love. She is the kind of person who will carry you, even if her own heart is breaking. And this is something you can hear in her voice in later years. It's not just romantic love anymore. It's devotion. It's, "I will stay beside you." It's, "Your pain is my pain." That is why, when she sings, people cry. Not because the melody is sad, but because underneath the melody there is this message, "I will not abandon you." Very few global superstars sing with that promise. That promise is very private, but she gives it publicly. Her emotional honesty is also why, when life knocked her down, health struggles, loss, pressure, she didn't return to the stage with bitterness. She returned with humility, with gratitude. She keeps saying in different words, "I am here because of love, and I sing because I still have love to give." That is the emotional engine of Celine Dion. The studio stories, not just hits, but what was happening in her soul. People know the albums, people know the awards, but the process of recording for Celine has never been go in, sing, leave. For her, recording is a form of confession. Let's look a little closer, through a romantic lens. Not romantic as in roses, but romantic as in intensity, drama, surrender. 3.1. Falling Into You, 1996. This album changed everything for her career. It was huge internationally. It made her a global force. But inside the studio, it was more than a big commercial project. It was an emotional test. At that point, Celine was in a place where the world expected perfection from her. Not just good vocals, perfection. And perfection for a human being is heavy. You can't breathe under that forever. She has talked about how, while recording songs like "It's All Coming Back to Me Now," she didn't want to just nail the note. She wanted to relive a feeling. The feeling of a love that nearly destroyed you, and somehow you still miss it. Listen to that song again with this in mind. That isn't just nostalgia. It's longing mixed with anger, mixed with surrender. It's, "You hurt me, but I still carry you in my bones." That is not an easy emotion to act. That is a real emotion. And here is where you see something essential about her character. She is brave emotionally. She will walk directly into pain if it means telling the truth. Another track from that era, "Because You Loved Me," has been called a thank you song. But if you listen to the way she sings certain lines, it becomes more than gratitude. It sounds like someone placing both hands on someone's face and telling them, "You are the reason I survived." It's intimate. It's whispered devotion recorded on a global pop album. And she did that on purpose. She has always been aware that millions of people will hear her voice. But she still sings like it's a secret between two people in a quiet room. That is part of her magic. 3.2. Let's talk about love. 1997. After the explosion of success, most artists either become arrogant or exhausted. Celine chose something else. Generosity. This album wasn't only about love in the simple sense. It was about the different shapes love can take. Admiration, respect, memory, pain, friendship, desire, gratitude. She brought in legends like Barbra Streisand and Luciano Pavarotti, not just for star power, but because she wanted to explore love as conversation, voice to voice, heart to heart. When she recorded Tell Him with Barbra Streisand, it was not just two divas singing. It was a dialogue between two women about how terrifying it is to confess your feelings. The song is basically a letter from one woman to another, saying, "Be brave. Say it. Love deserves honesty." That is very Celine. To her, love is not passive. Love is an action. Love is something you choose and then defend. And of course, there is "My Heart Will Go On." People know the Titanic story. People know the success. But here is the quiet human layer. Celine originally wasn't desperate to sing another movie ballad. She did not want to become a cliché. She wanted to protect the sincerity of her voice. But when she finally recorded it, she didn't sing it like, "This is a soundtrack song." She sang it like a goodbye you never wanted to say. That song is not just about Jack and Rose. It is about losing someone and refusing to let the love die with them. This is why that performance feels almost like prayer. She gives you this promise. "I will carry you forward. You are still alive in me. I will keep you safe in memory." It's romantic, but not in a sweet, easy way. It's romantic in the tragic, eternal sense. Love that survives separation, distance, even death. That is a theme that quietly runs through Celine's entire career. Love that survives. The way she treats people who work with her. There is something else about her personality that you don't always see in interviews: her loyalty to her team. Some superstars create distance to protect their image. Celine does almost the opposite. She builds a circle and then protects that circle fiercely. She sees the musicians, the stylists, the techs, the background vocalists, not as staff, but as family and mission. And this is not just nice girl energy. This is strategy of the heart. Because she believes music only feels real when the environment in which it is made is real. In other words, if the room is cold, the song will be cold. If the room is loving, the song will be loving. So she creates warmth on purpose. She thanks people. She jokes. She remembers personal details. She makes people feel safe enough to pour emotion into the work with her. That is leadership through love. And this goes back to how she grew up, in a huge family where everybody had to share, listen, compromise, and still care about each other the next morning. She carried that dynamic with her into superstardom instead of abandoning it. Her emotional philosophy as an artist, Celine Dion's emotional universe, can be described like this. Love is serious. Gratitude is a beauty. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's a language. Pain is not shameful. It's proof that you cared. Music is a promise. You are not alone. She does not sing just to entertain you for 4 minutes while you wash dishes. She sings to hold you together when you think you're falling apart. She sings to talk to the part of you that you don't show other people. That is why strangers feel like they know her, like she is part of their personal story. Because she sings to the private self, the quiet self, the part of you that only comes out in the dark when no one else is watching. Why she touches people the way she does. There are many technically incredible singers in the world. There are not many who feel like a hand on your back when you are crying. Celine does. And that is connected to her personality. She is emotionally available. She allows herself to feel publicly. She is willing to break in front of you. Most people in fame try to look perfect. She sometimes lets you see the cost. That honesty creates intimacy. It makes her audience not just admire her, but trust her. Trust is rare in pop culture. She earned it by never treating emotions like decoration. For her, emotion is the point. Beyond the usual story, people often repeat her basic life story. Poor childhood, discovered young, massive career, global fame, heartbreaking loss, health struggles, legendary status. All true, but not the whole story. The deeper truth is this. Celine Dion built a world where love is the infrastructure. Her career is not just about charts. It's about devotion as a lifestyle. In the studio, she is telling the truth about love even when it hurts. On stage, she is offering comfort, like a light you carry in your pocket. At home, she is loyal, protective, almost fierce in how she cares for the people she loves. This is why, when she sings a line like, "Near, far, wherever you are," you believe her. Because she is not performing that promise. She lives that promise. For Celine, love doesn't end. It transforms. It keeps breathing inside you. It becomes memory, then prayer, then music. And she will keep singing it back to you, until you believe it too. Celine Dion, a voice that refused to fall silent. In the following, you'll find a comprehensive account of Celine Dion's battle with illness, her path back to the stage, and her triumphant re-emergence at global events after regaining partial health. It is both a human story of endurance and a professional story of rebirth. 1. The beginning, a life built on music and perseverance. Celine Dion, the iconic Québécoise singer from Canada, has been one of the most celebrated pop stars on the planet since the 1980s. With her powerhouse vocals, emotional delivery, and the rare ability to bridge French and English audiences, she captivated millions worldwide. Through the decades, Dion released multi-platinum albums, sold-out world tours, and established an unmatched Las Vegas residency. Songs like My Heart Will Go On from Titanic turned her into a legend. But behind her success lay personal challenges: the long illness and eventual passing of her husband and manager René Angelil, the exhaustion of global touring, and recurring health issues that forced her to pause performances. When the major health crisis eventually came, it was not just a professional obstacle. It became a deeply personal battle. 2. The diagnosis, when the body betrays the voice. In January 2022, Dion announced that she had to postpone her North American tour due to severe and persistent muscle spasms. Later that year, on December 8, 2022, she revealed publicly that she had been diagnosed with stiff person syndrome, SPS, a rare neurological and autoimmune disorder. SPS causes progressive muscle stiffness, painful spasms, difficulty walking, and, most devastating for a vocalist, affects breathing and vocal control. In her message to fans, Dion said the condition affects every aspect of my daily life and makes it hard to use the vocal cords the way I'm used to. For a performer whose identity is inseparable from her voice, it felt like the end of a world. Yet, even at that moment, Celine Dion refused to let the diagnosis define her. 3. Fighting back, acceptance, therapy, and hope. Confronted with this rare disease, Dion chose courage over retreat. She took 3 essential steps. Radical honesty with fans. She decided to speak openly about her illness rather than hide it. If I stayed silent, my home would become my prison, she later reflected. Medical and vocal rehabilitation. She worked closely with neurologists, physiotherapists, and a vocal coach to manage symptoms and protect her voice as much as possible. Mental resilience. She rebuilt her life around smaller, more achievable goals, saying she now lives one day at a time, but still dreams big. Dion admitted that some days are extremely difficult, yet she emphasized, "I still have so many ideas. I can't wait to see what's next." This combination of honesty, medical care, and relentless optimism became the foundation of her comeback. 4. The road back, from silence to song. For most of 2023, Celine Dion disappeared from the public eye. Tours were canceled and fans feared she might never perform again. But quietly, she was rebuilding. 4.1. Preparation and recovery. During this silent period, Dion underwent continuous therapy to regain mobility and vocal strength. She practiced breathing techniques, gentle exercises, and slowly tested her voice. Behind closed doors, she rehearsed for a return that many thought impossible. 4.2. A triumphant first step. Paris 2024. In mid-2024, Dion made her first major public appearance since the diagnosis. She performed Hymne à l'amour during the opening ceremony of the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris. It was a brief but electrifying moment. The world watched as she delivered the song with poise and raw emotion, turning the performance into a symbol of resilience. Media outlets described it as fearless and inspiring. For millions, this was proof that the voice of Céline Dion was still alive. 4.3. The next milestone. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. In November 2024, Dion took the stage again, this time at 1001 Seasons of El Isab, a high-profile fashion and music event in Riyadh. Wearing a glittering gown designed by El Isab, she performed The Power of Love and I'm Alive. The performance lasted about 12 minutes, short yet monumental. Billboard described it as a triumphant comeback filled with grace and gratitude. For the first time in years, the world saw Dion not as a patient, but as an artist reborn. 5. Life after recovery. Selective performances and new visions. Dion's return wasn't about receiving a full-scale tour. It was about redefining what performing meant to her. Rather than overextending herself, she began appearing in curated, meaningful events that symbolize joy and empowerment. 5.1. Riyadh, the symbolic return. Her Riyadh appearance was more than just a concert. It was a declaration that she was still here, not broken, but transformed. Fashion critics praised her elegance. Music journalists highlighted her emotional connection. Fans wept in the audience. For many, this single night in November became the emotional equivalent of a world tour. 5.2. Creative revival. By late 2024, Dion confirmed plans to record 2 new albums, one in English, featuring duets and reimagined classics, and another in French. She also hinted at returning to Las Vegas for a limited engagement once her condition stabilizes. This stage of her career isn't a comeback in the traditional sense. It's a reinvention. 5.3. Looking forward reports suggest that Céline Dion and her team are exploring performance opportunities in Paris and Las Vegas for 2026 and beyond. Behind the scenes, she continues physical therapy, adapting her show formats to shorter sets but with the same emotional intensity. 6. Why her comeback worked. Lessons from her journey. Céline Dion's story offers a roadmap for resilience, not only for artists, but for anyone facing a life-changing challenge. 6.1. Acceptance and action. Her first victory came from acknowledging the truth. Instead of denial, she embraced transparency, sought expert care, and involved her fans in the process. That openness built empathy and trust. 6.2. Hope balanced with realism. Dion didn't promise a miraculous recovery. She promised effort, one day at a time. This pragmatic optimism inspired others living with chronic illness, a message that you can dream without denial. 6.3. Strategic return. Instead of rushing into world tours, she chose high-impact, low-frequency performances, like the Paris Olympics and Riyadh. These appearances delivered maximum emotional power with minimal physical strain, a model of sustainable artistry. 6.4. Connection over perfection. For Dion, the bond with her audience mattered more than flawless technique. In her own words, "Your love and energy inspire me every day. I look forward to a future full of possibilities." This emotional authenticity turned her recovery into a shared journey with millions. 6.5. Creation, not nostalgia. Unlike many returning artists who only replay old hits, Dion plans new albums and collaborations. Her message: resilience is not just survival, it's creative rebirth. 7. The universal message for fans around the world, from Montreal to Riyadh to Tehran. Céline Dion's path carries universal lessons. Hope never fades. Even when illness or crisis strikes, perseverance and support can open new doors. Fighting means continuing. Setbacks are not the end. They're invitations to evolve. Quality over quantity. Choosing fewer, more meaningful projects can lead to deeper fulfillment. Human connection heals. By sharing her struggle, Dion turned personal pain into collective inspiration. Reinvention is victory. Returning stronger and different is still a return. And sometimes, a greater one. 8. Conclusion, a voice beyond music. Today, Céline Dion stands as more than a singer. She's a symbol of endurance. Her journey from diagnosis to the Paris stage and the Riyadh spotlight shows that true artistry isn't only in the voice, but in the will to keep singing despite the odds. Whether she performs at the Olympics, a Saudi fashion gala, or on her next album, Dion reminds the world: when life silences you, sing louder in your heart, and wait for the moment when the world will listen again.
An icon. Returns Celine Dion at the Paris 2024 opening ceremony. Introduction. There are moments in art and sport where the world holds its breath, expecting something extraordinary. When Céline Dion stepped to the mic at the opening ceremony of the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris, she delivered precisely one of those moments. This wasn't simply a performance. It was a comeback, a statement of resilience, a symbol of hope, and a celebration of music, identity, and the human spirit. In this article, we explore Dion's return in full, the context of her career and health, the significance of the ceremony, the performance itself, its reception and legacy, and what it means moving forward. 1. Setting the stage. Who is Céline Dion and where was she before Paris? 2024. Celine Dion is one of the most celebrated pop vocalists of the last 4 decades. Born in Quebec, Canada, she gained international fame through powerhouse vocal performances, multilingual albums, French and English, and chart-topping hits such as My Heart Will Go On. Her career has been defined by big voices, big shows, and a global reach. But in recent years, Dion faced a major interruption in her performing life. In 2022, she was diagnosed with the rare neurological disorder known as stiff person syndrome, SPS, a condition characterized by muscle stiffness, painful spasms, and impaired movement. This diagnosis derailed her touring plans and left many wondering if she would ever return to the stage in the same way. The Olympics had, in a sense, always played a role in Dion's story. Early in her career, she performed the song "The Power of the Dream" at the 1996 Atlanta Games, a sign of her enduring link to global sporting theater. Now, with Paris 2024, the moment of return was carefully crafted. 2. Paris 2024, Opening Ceremony. The big picture. The opening ceremony of the 2024 Games was held on the 26th of July 2024 in Paris, France. Unusually, it took place not in a traditional stadium, but along the River Seine and at landmarks such as the Jardin du Trocadéro and the Eiffel Tower. The ceremony was ambitious, mixing French history, culture, art, spectacle, and global music stars. Given the setting, the closing musical segment was always a moment of enormous weight. For Dion, her selection to perform at precisely that venue signified recognition of her stature and also of her personal journey. 3. The performance, Hymne à l'amour from the Eiffel Tower. On the night of 26th of July, Céline Dion took to the first level or balcony of the Eiffel Tower and performed the classic 1950 French song, Hymne à l'amour, originally by Edith Piaf. The setting was cinematic. As the Olympic cauldron and visual spectacle around the tower progressed, Dion's voice soared above it all. Key details. The performance marked her first public live performance since her 2022 diagnosis of SPS. She was dressed in a long-sleeved white gown by Dior, or another leading couture house, visually commanding, underlining the significance of the moment. The choice of song had meaning. Hymne à l'amour is a seminal French chanson with lyrics by Piaf written in the face of personal tragedy and loss. Dion's rendition was read by many as a tribute and as a metaphorical revenge against fate. In the staging, every element seemed aligned. Location, Eiffel Tower. Song, French classic. Voice, returning icon. And moment, global, Olympic. The performance felt both deeply personal and highly collective. 4. Why it mattered, symbolism and significance. 4.1. Personal triumph. For Dion, this was not simply a comeback performance. It was the culmination of a long and difficult road. Her public admission of illness, the cancellations, the uncertainty about returning to live performance, all of this set the stage for a dramatic moment. Performing in front of a global audience after such a hiatus added emotional weight. 4.2. Cultural resonance. Choosing Hymne à l'amour, a French song deeply embedded in French cultural memory, positioned Dion not only as the Canadian global star she is, but also as part of the Francophone legacy. Performing it in Paris at French cultural landmark magnified that resonance. 4.3. The Olympic moment. In the context of the Olympics, certain performances become part of the lore. Dion's performance anchored the closing section of the ceremony. It follows that in the realm of sport and global performance, this moment will be replayed, remembered, referenced. The Olympics is about human limits, resilience, unity, and Dion's journey fits perfectly within that narrative. 4.4. Message of resilience. In many interviews, Dion has spoken of the uncertain path ahead, of living day by day, of balancing hope and realism. Her presence at Paris 2024 sent a message to audiences that setbacks can be transformed, that joy and art remain possible. In a world still recovering from pandemic and division, that message holds particular power. 5. Reception, media, public, legacy, 5.1 media reaction. The performance drew strong praise. The British newspaper The Guardian called her return undaunted, beatific. Le Monde wrote that her performance echoed the idea of revenge against fate. Critics and fans alike noted the emotional charge of seeing her voice, after years of uncertainty, raised again. However, as with many major live events, some controversy emerged. There were claims that parts of the performance may have been pre-recorded playback. Regardless of that debate, the consensus remains that the moment carried weight. 5.2 Public response. The audience in France and abroad responded emotionally. The sheer viewership numbers of the ceremony were extraordinary, making Dion's appearance a moment for global broadcast. According to metrics, the opening ceremony drew roughly 28.6 million viewers in the US and peaked at 25.2 million viewers in France. Social media filled with clips, quotes, tears, and tributes. 5.3 chart and music impact. Following the performance, the live version of Hymne à l'amour, live from the Olympic Games Paris 2024, was released on October 10, 2024. The song reached #1 in Quebec, #4 on Canada's digital song sales chart, and in France topped at #65. This confirms that the performance resonated not only in the moment, but in the marketplace. 5.4 legacy and alignment with her career. This performance may well mark a key pivot point in Dion's career, from hiatus chart backstage mode to a new era of performance, recalibrated for her health condition, but also elevated by its meaning. For fans, the event will likely be referenced as the return moment of Dion's second act. 6. The backdrop, her health journey and the stakes. Understanding the gravity of Dion's performance requires awareness of what she faced. In August 2022, she disclosed her diagnosis of stiff person syndrome, a rare autoimmune neurological condition marked by muscle rigidity, painful spasms, and difficulty with movement and control. The physical demands of singing, breath support, posture, control, naturally make performance especially challenging in such a situation. In an April 2024 interview, she admitted she didn't know when she would perform again, saying, "I can't answer that, because for 4 years I've been saying to myself that I'm not going back, that I'm ready, that I'm not ready." Thus, when she showed up in Paris and performed flawlessly, it was not just about the show. It was a testament to a long fight, adaptation, hope, and sheer will. Life had given setbacks. She chose to sing anyway. 7. Behind the scenes and artistic choices. 7.1 Location and staging. Performing from the Eiffel Tower did more than create a dramatic backdrop. It connected the symbolic heart of Paris with the human voice rising above it. The tower has long been a symbol of modernity, light, design. Pairing it with one of music's great voices enhanced the theatricality and meaning. 7.2 Song choice. Hymne à l'amour has deep emotional and historical resonance. A Piaf original written in the early 1950s after the death of her lover, boxer Marcel Cerdan. It is a song of love, loss, faith, and
C'est
devotion.
une chanson que j'adore, ça m'a beaucoup
Dion's
touché.
selection of the song invites reading of her own story, of battling illness, of the love of her audience and continuing despite adversity. 7.3 Costume and presentation. Her attire, a long white gown, signaled purity, renewal, elegance, in contrast to the typical high glam pop performance. That choice helped frame the performance less as a pop show and more as a cultural cinematic moment. 7.4 Musical direction. Accompanied by her musical director, pianist Scott Price, as noted, the arrangement rendered the song with emotional restraint and clarity rather than spectacle. The soundscape allowed Dion's voice and the moment to dominate. Conclusion. Céline Dion's performance at the 2024 Paris Olympics opening ceremony was one of those rare intersections of art, history, personal journey, and spectacle. It was not simply a singer returning to the stage. It was a voice rising again in full measurement of love, loss, hope, and renewal. From the Eiffel Tower, she sang, and in doing so, she reminded the world that even when voices are tested by time or by illness, the human spirit can still soar. In the years to come, this moment will be recalled not just in music fan circles, but in cultural memory. as an emblem of resilience, of global unity, and of what happens when an icon chooses to stand, to sing, to rise again. For Celine Dion, Paris 2024 was not just another performance, it was a statement, a hymn to love indeed.
Merci Céline, merci.
Oh, dearest heart, oh, art my breath, the first